Now, if you're watching this video, then chances are that you've either got mock exams coming up or you're currently going through mock exams at the moment. And as most of you know, mock exams can be really important, especially if you're currently doing your A-levels or it's near the time of doing your GCSE exam. Then mock exams can be really important for either applying to university or thinking about what sixth form you want to go to. So it's definitely worth putting some time into it and trying to do the best you can. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jackery and I'm a year 13 student studying biology, chemistry, maths and psychology. And in this video, I'm just going to go through some tips and advice on how you can do the best you possibly can in your mock exams. As usual, timestamps will be in the description below so you can jump around and find exactly what you're looking for without wasting any time. The first bit of advice I want to give you is to start as soon as possible. This can be something that a lot of people don't do, especially if they've been given their mock exam dates quite early on. But starting sooner will definitely give you more time to go through all the content you need to and will prevent you from cramming too close to the exam, which can really cause a lot of stress. Start early so you can go through all the content at least once, and then you can spend the extra time you have left to go through any bits of content that you especially struggle with. This is something that I've personally done, and I think it really helps me make sure that I go through all my content at least once and still have time to go through my weaker content. My second bit of advice is to do exam style questions, specifically exam questions from the exam board that you're currently studying. You can either find these questions by going on the specific exam board websites or by going on other websites that might provide those questions, such as Physics and Maths Tutor or Save My Exam, which are two really well-known sites to find a lot of exam style questions. The reason doing exam style questions are so crucial to help you in your mock exam is that one, you might end up doing certain questions that actually end up coming up in your exam, or two, you'll end up doing questions that are very similar to the question that come up in the exam. There's going to be no other source of questions that will make the questions as specific as the exam board themselves, and so that will be the perfect way to get an idea of the sort of question that can come up, but also how to get the marks, because you'll be able to see the mark schemes and see where the marks are allocated, so you can stop yourself from including information in your answer that might not be important and instead focus on the things that the exam board actually want. The third tip is to ask your teacher as many questions as you can leading up to the exam. Not only is this a really good way to fill in any gaps you may have in your knowledge, but you also have to understand that it's your teachers who are actually making these exams. So by asking them enough questions, you can get a better idea of what type of questions are going to come up, and that way you can tailor your revision to be a bit more specific. Now, this isn't always the case, and a lot of teachers don't like to give away much information about any upcoming exam. But at the very least, your teachers will understand the content better than anyone else, and so can help you with any questions you may have, whether it be about not understanding a certain mark scheme or maybe not understanding something that they'd already gone through in lesson. Always remember that their job is to help you, and they will in most cases be more than happy to answer any questions, so make sure to take advantage of that. And the last point I want to make, and arguably the most important, is to focus on consistency instead of intensity. And this is in relation to the amount of revision you're doing or the amount of hours you're working in a day. When exam season comes around, most of us feel this sudden urge to revise. We have this spike in motivation, and at the start of the week we might end up doing a good amount of hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours, maybe even more. And then come the next day, we're usually quite tired from the previous day, and so maybe we tell ourselves that we'll take a bit of a break. This continues on throughout the whole week, and next thing you know, you've reached the end of the week, and apart from that one day you did in the start of the week, you haven't actually done that much work, and a lot of your work has ended up piling up. This is a perfect example of what will happen if you prioritize the intensity of your revision over consistency. It will always be better to do a bit of revision every day for the whole week rather than do a lot of revision on one day and then slack off for the rest of the week. By working a bit every day, not only will you be able to conserve your energy and be less likely to burn out, but you'll also be able to implement things like spaced repetition into your revision a lot more effectively. Trust me on this one, the last thing you want to do is study so much on one day and then neglect the rest of the days. It's not healthy, you'll burn out, and you'll find that the content just won't be going in as effectively. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you thought, or if you have any other questions about this video. Also, feel free to drop any suggestions in terms of what types of videos you might want to see in the future. That's been all from me, and goodbye.